Hello friends and bees and friends who are also bees, and welcome to this week's Final Fantasy XIV stream. As you can tell from the title, I've actually got a plan for once in my life. We are going to be running the part 2 of the Hatchingtide event, and then it is I shouldn't try and do two things at once because I can't do it. We're going to run part 2 of the Hatchingtide event, then we are going to do the Bozja unlock. I have no idea how long that's going to take, but we're going to do Hatchingtide first because I figure that's going to be pretty quick. Although, maybe I should do Bozja first. No, I'll do Hatchingtide first and then we'll do Bozja. And then if we have time after that, we're going to do some raids and roulettes and stuff like that. But for now, swap over to the gameplay. And it is time. I was just checking my retainers. I'm going to do my cactus pot super quickly because I didn't do it earlier. And then there's good old Hobo Abobo. If Hobo Abobo is not here when I come to do my cactus pot, I get really worried. Also, I suck at cactus pots, so don't laugh at me too much. Yep. What did I say about sucking? Oh, there we go. Nice. Right, I think it is Old Gridania that we need to go to first. And I guess we're doing this as Blue Mage because that's what I logged out in. No, I'll swap to Summoner. I'm not going to do the thing where I go over and over again trying to get people's cameos. I just don't feel like it at the moment. As I understand it, the Bozja unlock is a bit long. Also, I have no idea if I'm saying that right. It's yelling out from my neighbour, so I do apologise if you can hear him. Miketo's amphitheatre. I'm guessing I meant to put an outfit on or something like I intended to last week and then didn't do. But I'm very bad at planning. Here we go. Happy Hatchingtide to you, my friend. Thanks in no small part to your efforts, every last one of the egg-laying assets has been returned to us, and the festivities are in full swing. As we speak, you'll notice preparing for the highlight of this year's event, a grand procession in which a host of individuals dressed as rabbits will parade through the streets, handing out exquisitely decorated eggs to the children of the city. Doesn't that sound like fun? If you care to join us, and we'd be most appreciative if you did, pray seek out Nonota. My colleague would be more than happy to fill you in on the details. You got it. That's a good look. Nothing. Yeah, nothing I'm wearing at the moment can be dyed. Except, I don't know, not even my book can be dyed. So. Oh, the gloves can. I mean, they do look nice in the gunmetal, but not enough to make me want to pay for gunmetal, you know? And I'm not dyeing that. Again, that looks nice, but not enough to make me want to pay for it. I do like how that looks, although that looks better, but this... whatever. Happy Hatchingtide to you, my friend. How do you fare on this most extravagantly exciting of days? I've got about 5 days left before I can start eating my Easter eggs, so... Egg enough already. Oh, I should probably pause music that's not heard anymore. Do egg, or excuse me. Anyhow, might I be correct in assuming you're looking to take part in the grand procession? If so, then you come to the right place. As Julie no doubt explained to you, we planned for a great parade of celebrants to walk the streets of the town, handing out eggs to every child in sight. Aren't eggs for eating, of course, but exquisitely decorated ones, hollowed out and housing a host of lovely gifts inside. Hi, Rahela. I hope you're doing well. These remarkable specimens have been prepared especially for the occasion by an impressive lineup of some of the realm's greatest luminaries. No doubt they're putting the finishing touches on the masterworks even as we speak. They're just about to go to a designated meeting point to receive them myself, but I fear there are some last-minute parade preparations I must attend to here. Might you be so kind as to go in my stead? So yeah, I'm gonna start off by doing this. I'm just gonna do, get it done. And then I'm gonna go do the Bozja stuff. But I wanted to do this first to get it out of the way, and also so we can start on a high note and then go down. Depending. I've been pretty much avoiding... I know one spoiler, but I would have spoiled it for myself anyway, so... Are you the one who came for the Hatchingtide eggs? Are you not? Other than that, I know nothing else about what's going on. Happy to inform you that they've been crafted precisely according to Julie and her dreamer's request, every last one housing a delightful treat that is sure to please a lucky child. I missed that dialogue accidentally, so I don't know what he just asked. Must admit, I'm surprised that you'll be the one to deliver them. There's none who I would sooner trust with this most important delivery. Go with the elemental's blessing that you might bring joy to the young ones of the fair city in this most wonderful of occasions. When Hatchingtide is over, I'll have to decide how to decorate the house next. Hi, Pixie! Goodness me, there's a lot of hearts. How are you doing, Pixie? I hope you're doing well. I hope you've been having a good day. Oh ho, if isn't Maeve, my dear son's boon companion. There he is. I observe that your expression is a curious one. Clearly you're at complete loss as to the identity of the virile gentle rabbit who stands before you. But it's a fine Hatchingtide festival this year, is it not? Colourful decorations about the town, festive mood in the air, enough to make Amanda a rabbit such as I lift up his legs and dance. Behold, a veritable chicken coop's worth of ornamental eggs, each containing a gold hairpin fashioned with a delightful egg motif. I'm intrigued to see who I get. None that I know. Oh ho. If my first person was, whatever is my dear son up to these days? It's been so very long since he wrote. Hints that we might get, more Mandeville, please. I know some people don't like the Mandeville, but, oh, I just want mini eggs. They are wrong. The Mandeville stories are the best part of this video game. Valid to laugh and enjoy yourself sometimes, if you ask me. God, I just want mini eggs. Oh. I heard that you'd be playing leading role in this year's Hatchingtide. I simply had to witness it myself. What's this? You do not recognise me? Why, you are as dense as a certain man I once loved, but I jest. My true form concealed within this costume, and it is no wonder that you are confused. It's not the first time I've used my powers to take on another form, though I feel somewhat bereft without my wings. Enough about me. We have gifts that must be delivered to the fledglings, do we not? Albert, my beloved too, cared very much for children. Choosing the manners I prepared for the occasion, I gave much thought to what manner of present would do him proud. Aww. Mad look in your eyes. You've journeyed far and wide since felling the mad auspice Koryu. Those who've known suffering in the realm over doubtless live freer today for your efforts. Do take care, and promise that you'll never abandon the fight. That's a really cute... That's a really cute cameo. I like that. I wonder if, like if you've not done, like if you hadn't done, words are so difficult and my brain is... Earlier today I described my brain as like a tin of pens that had been knocked over and dropped all over the floor, and that's what it's still like. If you haven't done the Four Lords, I wonder if you like won't get Four Lords ones. Trust you have no trouble procuring eggies. Deck of eggs, blessed by the Twelveswood. Each housing a golden hep, slippery to the touch. Okay. Make him stand up for the rest. I can't speak for Julie and all of the dreamers when I say that I cannot thank you enough. With that, at long last, the grand procession can begin. If you're still willing to take part, pray join me and your fellow participants at the starting line in Old Gridania. I guess you run over here and wait for the fate to pop. Ooh, okay. I am intrigued. It just looks really pretty at the moment. Sit here on the floor. Maybe I should sign up to do the raids while I'm waiting for this, like, just in case. Although knowing me, it will inevitably pop as soon as the queue pops. Where do I pick up? Apologies, I have got mega hiccups all of a sudden. Yes, I do want to click on the link that I just clicked. Thank you, game. Not game, Discord. My brain is terrible. I'm glad to hear that you're doing well, Pix. Yeah, that's sort of how I am at the moment as well. Like, just trying my best to keep things going. Work have said that they're going to start furloughing people, but I don't think it's going to come to our department because we're understaffed as it is. So I doubt that, you know, any of us will be followed, but you never know. We'll find out, I suppose. It's just unfortunate at the moment. Some of our training groups have suspended training to the end of May now, so that's fun and sexy. Right, what did I actually want to check? Can I remember? Absolutely not. Okay, so I want to go to Kugane to pick up the unlock quest once this fate pops. I wish I could, like, I wish there was something I could do while I wait for this fate to pop, you know? Oh no. Oh. I did that to myself recently. It was last week or the week before last. I can't remember off the top of my head. I was pouring out pasta water and I poured it on my thumb and my forefinger on the like outside knuckles, and it was not nice. And about 5 minutes later I had a call with my mum and I'm just like, I scalded my hands and they hurt. She's like, if you put cold water on it, you know, if you it's bad enough that you want ice, it's not blistering anything. I'm like, no, it's just scalding water and it hurts. And she's like, okay, well, put cold water on it, you big baby. But oh dear, I hope it heals up soon. I have my accompaniment node out, by the way, because it's orb shaped and vaguely, like, you could crack, if you cracked it in the middle it could be an egg, and I figure it was a more, what's the word I'm looking for? Unique Easter pet than a rabbit. Although I do have 2 rabbits. I have a dwarf rabbit, and I think I have another one. I thought I did. Maybe I do not. There we go. Question of ownership. There we go. Eventually things will pop. This is an extremely good look, by the way. It looks terrible on Maeve, but that's because of the trousers that I'm wearing. I like how that looks. I think this goddamn rabbit paid off. It's, I missed it. Do this. Hi! I'll see you soon. It's supposed to seem like you ain't doing this for charity. I feel like this is appropriate who we've got because we're going to see them soon. Also, that is an incredibly cute glamour. Yeah. Yes. There he is. 2 people that we're going to get to know very well soon. This is so cute. Wish I'd actually put my glamour on. That would have been sensible, wouldn't it? Unfortunately, I don't possess the capability to be sensible. Ow. Can you, like, hand? Ah, I guess you can't hand things to NPCs. That would be super cute, though, if you could. Who is this big, beefy rabbit? I love the spriggies as well. This is just really, really cute. You know, you start on a high note. And, like, then we'll go get depressing with Bozja in a bit. There's good old Demetra. Spriggy, eggy, spriggy. Demetra's, when she showed up in the main story, there was all this, like, you need to find this person and she stole her sister, and I'm like, Yeah, I know. She's been giving me quests for the last ages. I really do hope there's an equestrian role with this 8-bit papaya, because I would really like it. I really do want to know who the Lorg Green Bunny is. Taking bad photos, I do apologise. This could only be made better if I had some Easter eggs myself that I could be enjoying. IRL, no children today smiled because of me, because students like to pretend that admin staff don't exist. Nice. Be proud, my friends, for you have made many a child happy today. Not as easy as hamming dead to kettles, is it? I really like Rowena. I like that she's like, I do like that. Shush now, I've got a reputation to uphold. I just think that's really, you know, she can be like anything to drum up a bit of business, but you're like, you know what, actually, you're doing this because you're a nice person, and you like seeing kids smile, and I refuse to believe otherwise, and nobody can tell me otherwise. I will enjoy that fact. I have bejeweled eggs, but I already got the things that I want from the bejeweled eggs. I also feel like I'm about to have a nosebleed at any point. If so, I apologise. Welcome back, Maeve. Thanks to you, I'm proud to announce that the procession was a resounding success. I've never seen so many happy children before. Some seemed quite intimidated at first to see a veritable army of oversized rabbits, but they quickly changed their tune after receiving the gift of extravagant eggs, containing all manner of tasteful and something treats. No doubt Julie is overjoyed with how everything turned out. You'll accompany me to deliver the good tidings to our hiccups and cheap, right? This always happens to me, because, I, like, have dinner just before I stream, and then afterwards I have horrendous hiccups, and they won't go away. Maeve, no nota. Once again, Hatchingtide has been a success beyond even my wildest dreams, and I have the two of you to thank for it. Thank you, Jilly, but we all know that none of this would have even been possible were it not for your prophetic visions and the remarkable passion by which you pursued making them reality. You are far too kind, my friends. It's because of you that the parade was far and away the highlight of this year's festivities. Why, I was originally intending to stand aside and direct the procession, but everyone looked to be enjoying themselves so much, I simply had to take part myself. I, for one, will not begrudge you, but don't say that too loud. Some might be less than happy to hear that you abandoned your post. At any rate, it was more than clear from the beaming smiles of the faces of all the children in attendance that this year's Hatchingtide has been nothing less than a resounding success. Pictures played a great part in this as well. Believe it or not, Maeve, every last one of them volunteered their services only after hearing that you would be part of the festivities, something that I might have told them before you actually volunteered, but let's not overburden ourselves with details, shall we? Anyway, there's no doubt that, because of you, our fledgling festival is more beloved by the people of Bozja than ever before. When I think of a time when the children here today tell their children of their fond memories of celebrating Hatchingtide, it fills my heart with no end of pride and joy. That's really cute. Like, not to be slappy on Maine, but that's really cute. I dare say we both have a job to do. I best be getting back to my post and prepare for the next procession. If you have no pressing matters to attend to, we would most appreciate if you could join us once more before the celebration is through. If not for us, then for the children. I guess it's like pick up the eggs, then join the fete. then take part in the fate. That's really cute. New wares are available from the Dreamers. Nice. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm proud, my friend, you brought joy to many of a child. Ooh. Excellent. This looks so... I can't decide which one I prefer. The head with the rest of the outfit. Or the... I think it has to be the rabbit suit with a mog head. Pratimus, lovely gilded eggs, and the finest of wood, not a single boy or girl has shown an interest in my creations. Whatever do you suppose might be the matter? You put the goddamn sword down before you approach the children. Okay. Aww. Okay. So I'll run around and see. I don't. Are people just like scattered about the city? Fancy meeting you here. Just stopping by to pay a visit to one of our contacts in Twin Adults when out of nowhere, a fellow in a rabbit suit came by and handed me this egg. Isn't it pretty? This made me so happy I figured, why not return the favour? Others won't miss me if I'm only gone for a little while now. So small. So small. Something I really like about the way that this game treats the events is it is like every city gets dressed up and I don't know, it makes me really happy. It's really cute. I know I keep saying that, but it's because it's true. It is cute. To be honest, even if we don't see friends, I just like wandering around. Poor lad's by himself, just being depressed there. I think I'm just gonna like skim around and find people. I don't want to spend too long because I do want to do the unlock after this, so I think I'm just gonna skim around here and see who's about before we head off. I like that machinist rabbit. Harmless cute little red rabbit. Running rabbit, of course. What does it look like to you? Can spit a piping hot jet of coffee straight from its mouth. Good coffee too. Unlike the swill brewed with a certain Mark 14 thermo something or another. Sorry, I think no doubt which one of us is the true master of magic. Good old Nero, huh? Best bunny. That's the best cameo. I did not. Oh, I accidentally joined the fate without meaning to. Well, okay. Oh god, I've lost where Nero is now. I just started running and then sort of stopped paying attention. Oh, hi! Oh, there they are! I did see them and I solidly just don't have, like, the attention span. Buddies. I want to see, like, Nero and Omega and Alpha just, like, pop up, like, across the world and just have, like, a bit of dialogue and, like, that's it. Like, there's no, like, story or explanation for them being there. They're just there. That's my one desire in life, really. I don't know if anybody will be hiding here over in Nothica's altar, but why not check, you know? Although, I think after this I will explore more in my own time. I'm sure there's, like, maps out there with where everybody is. Alas, place is too serious. I shall explore that in my own time, but I want to go do the unlock now. I don't know how long it's going to take, but given that last time for 5.2 I wound up streaming for about 8 hours, I don't want to risk it this time around. The worst part about that, it was 7 hours, but still, that got me to about 3:30 in the morning, and the worst thing about that was I still had work the next day. I still had to wake up at 7:30 and get my ass out to work, and it hurt me deeply inside. So, even working from home, I don't want to do that again. You know? Right. Connor, Dory, here we go. Time for there to be 5,000 people. Oh, thank you. Judging by the look of relief on Caton's face, you've saved him a great deal of time. My lord, what an auspicious timing. I intended to send a missive to the Rising Stones, but it seems that's no longer necessary. Master Hancock wishes to speak with you regarding a matter of grave import. I can but imagine what other duties yet demand your attention. Still, he would request you meet him at the Ruby Bowser at your earliest convenience. You got it. Let me in, meow. Scratches at the door like, let me in. Hi. Hancock and your weird sunglasses. I still don't trust Hancock. I think it's just because he's a businessman. But... So who returns at last? From what Taro has told me, you've come rather a long way, to put it mildly. Oh, I skipped that dialogue. I did not call you here to discuss such matters. Receive word from Lord Hien that the Bozja and Resistance, our comrades in the Eastern Alliance, seek the aid of distinguished heroes in the fight against the Empire, and naturally your name immediately sprang to mind. The Bozja and Resistance, you say? I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. From a small nation planted in the southern reaches of Ilsabard to the west of Damaska, though no doubt amongst the first to fall to the Empire, it would seem that the hearts have yet to give way to despair, and with the Empire now disarray, they would seize the opportunity to fight back. If you know the full details in full, think it best to speak with Lord Hien. His endless list of commitments makes him a hard man to find, however, so perhaps you can have one of his attendants at the House of Fear strike him down for you. Neat. Any opportunity to learn more about the Eastern Alliance makes me happy, because I'm still nailing down one of my ults, Myron. I'm still nailing down parts of her backstory. So, any opportunity to learn more makes me happy. Greetings, good sir. Lord Hien has been expecting you. When word reached us from the Bozja resistance, Lord Hien knew at once there was but one monk to whom he could turn. He left to the Cotels not long ago. The view of Derma Castle helps to calm his mind. This way, if you please. Watch as I accidentally mooshed my face. Oh, Jesus, I'm up. It's been so long since I've flown around here that I've forgotten how to get places. Hello. Atop the broken bridge, you'll be most glad for your arrival. Enjoy the Ancha at night theme. Move my mouse out of the way. Do you remember when we first shared a view of this castle together? Still under the Guardian's control perhaps, yet for all their wickedness, its beauty would not so easily be sullied. It is good to see you, my friend. You must forgive me for going pleasantries, but our guest here is in dire need of your help. Marsak of the Bozja Resistance. A pleasure to make your acquaintance. As you've no doubt already heard from Lord Hien, my people seek to reclaim our homeland from the Empire. Under his auspices and that of the Yoyos Alliance, we aim to do just that. We recently received word that the 4th Imperial Legion has been making plans of their own. Long held the provinces of Nancha, Damask and Bozja in an iron grip, using its Damascan headquarters to house the bulk of its forces. Till recently, that is. They appear to be diverting resource and manpower to the forces stationed in Bozja. In fact, 3 battalions are en route as we speak. We thought perhaps to strike before they can fully assemble, but the Bozja resistance lacks the means to drive them off on its own. Aid from the Damascan resistance groups may have sufficed. Sadly, even Fran of Lente's tears has been unable to bring an end to their suffering. All hope is not lost, however, for Lord Hien has made a most intriguing proposal. An idea not my own, I must confess. We have our old friend Cassetsi to thank. As the Empire gripped tight its grip on Derma, our people are at crossroads. Would they lay down and surrender or stand up and fight? I've forgotten how to turn speed. You sought me out so that I could become the spark that lit the fire of rebellion. The same must be done for the Bozjans. They require a standard on which they can rally, a symbol of hope to steel their resolve. My comrades and I looked to our nation's past with inspiration. There we found the answer we sought, Gunhild's blades. Gunhilda? They were the elite guard of Queen Gunhild, possessed of weapons blessed by the gods. Exploits would become legend after defending our peoples against the Alligans in the Third Astral Era. Strength of their steel was matched only by their dedication to the Queen. Should one lose their life in her service, the Holy Blade was then passed on to a successor. In time, the title would lend itself to the most renowned of their weaponry, the Gunblade. But in truth, each member of our guard was a master of a different thing. Though these sacred relics have been lost to time, I would see them forged anew. Armed with us, our people would know no fear, and drive back our oppressors just as Queen Gunhilda. Admittedly lofty and otherwise unattainable of one such as I, which is why I travel far and wide in such great names and greater heroes who might lend their aid. We would be honoured to have one of your renown at our side. I really need to turn down my text speed. We value the Bozjan's commitment to the cause, and I would see their plans come to fruition. Unfortunately, duty demands that I remain here. Could not in good conscience leave knowing the Empire yet threatens the border to Alamigo. Should you choose to accompany him to Bozja, might you also act as a representative of the Eastern Alliance in my stead? Leave it to me. I promise not to fuck up too badly. Thank you, my friend. If there's aught else you require of the Alliance, you need only ask. Safe travels to you both. Yes. Give me more lore. More world building lore. Before I do anything else, that's what I'm trying to work out. I think it's character config actually. There's like a keyboard. There is a keyboard shortcut, but I don't know it. So, never mind. An airship to our base has been prepared for us, the Enclave stock. I hope to see you there soon. You got it. When you finish your preparations, meet me at the dock and we can be on our way. I'm just glad to see that Hien and Yugiri are both, like, still... They're both, like, doing their best, you know? Gamepad settings. I'm sure that there must be a command for it. I know there is, there's keyboard commands, I just can't remember what they are. I think it's like tab forwards and tab backwards, but I'm not sure. We'll try that next time I'm in a thingy with dialogue. Maybe it's shift tab to go backwards? No, that can't be right, because that brings up my overlay. Well, we'll find out. Coming aboard, sir? You got it. Fond memories of my very first time taking an airship somewhere. Hiccups again. Do apologize. I keep thinking I should change this frame so that it matches the map in the Shadowbringers map, the one on the first, but I also really like how this one looks, so I don't want to change it. Like, I could cut out like this bit with the key here. I don't really need that anymore, but music up a bit. I'm intrigued by who this is meant to represent. We should play host to the liberator of Doma and Alamigo himself. I did not think you could be persuaded to help us. Bastion. Ah, I hit the wrong button. Leader of the something's the resistance. I'm sorry that I... Bloody hell, man, you won't inspire much confidence speaking like that. Here we go. Right, that's better. Quite my Master Geralt. Why are you here? Won't you come and welcome our guest? Huh? What in the seven hells are you doing here? Hi, I just saw you. Here's as great as here and a finest blacksmith. With the two of you here, our plan is sure to succeed. With the Queen Gunhild, we're here to win, is this? Maeve, just between us, I'm only here to pay off the debts to that black-hearted snake, Rowena. Been selling supplies to the Resistance. They happened to mention they were in need of a smith, so she went and told them I'm the greatest leading smithy in the realm, with skills that put Beauregard himself to shame. Can't rightly say I'm even half what you claim, but I'll do me damnedest. They're happy to ply me with good grub and even better booze, so play along, will you? It's highly unfortunate that the thing for doing it is the same as both here. I believe it time our plans be made. Attention to one thing at once. Our goal is to reforge the weapons wielded by Gunhild's blades. Simple in principle, they're so in execution. Weapons themselves and most of the text denoting the history of Her Majesty Innerguard were lost to the devastation of the Fourth Umbral Calamity. Said, we've managed to obtain some piece of information, and coupled with Master Geralt's knowledge and expertise, we've made great strides in reproducing these vaunted blades of eld. We've worked out the manner of weapons they wielded, their shape and weight, even the materials needed for the forge, but we've learned bugger all about what gives them spirit. I wonder if it's going to be like a... It said Queen Gunhild etched a holy inscription into each blade, thus granting the power of the gods. Unfortunately, no record of any such engravings remain, but there is still hope. Though no but pale imitations, there once existed replicas which may very well have borne these inscriptions. Alas, they were lost when Bozja citadel fell. Do you know of the Bozja incident? Yes, I do, though admittedly I do not recall it in detail. I don't, but we'll pretend. That a worldly adventurer such as yourself would know this is no surprise. If I may, I would share the tragic tale of our homeland. 15 summers past, the Gallians were constructing experiments, seeking means to make contact with the lesser moon, Dalamud. Yes, I do. They believed the satellite to be possessed of immense power, and a lunar transmitter was erected in the hopes of harnessing it. When the transmitter was activated and the signal sent, Dalamud responded with an immense blast of energy. Destruction wrought defied reckoning. The citadel, the relics of Queen Gunhild's kingdom, naught was left but smoke and ash. I knew the incident, couldn't remember the name. The citadel's been wiped off the bloody map eye, but there's still a way for us to find those inscriptions, or so I've been told. An explanation better left to one far more knowledgeable than I. Just give me the song as an equestrian role, please. I want this playing in my room. Hello, friend. You confused the hell out of me. Back in, back previously. Right, so there's a bit of quest dialogue that I skipped over by accident. I don't need the Welshman assistance. I can't be frank, but I'll bear the title all the same. Okay, so we have our three friends. Over here somewhere, I guess. I'm just thinking of what would I, if I did redo my banner, I think I would do this, and then possibly have like my camera be like here and have that on the side, but I don't know. Just give me the music, meow. It is good to see you again, Maeve, though I'd hoped to accomplish more before your arrival. I'm sure your help will be invaluable now as it was aboard the Prima Vista. You are far too kind. If not for your heroism, Ramsat and Alma would have... From the onset of our endeavour, it was abundantly clear that one vast Nithorochi would be essential. Relay this to the Alliance, who then introduced her Mikoto. She is said to be one of the most brilliant minds amongst the students at Baldesian. I wonder if Maeve and Mikoto would have known each other. Yet it's my ineptitude that demands your presence here. I was all but certain that Geralt and I alone would suffice in this. Alas. The matter as she speaks of concerns a long-forgotten practice of the holy men who once inhabited these lands. Utilising uniquely aspected crystals, these seers were able to provide succour for those with ailments of the mind. They possess the ability to shape their very memories, removing those deemed harmful and replacing them, that the patient may find some semblance of peace. I too dismiss the notion that such practices could exist. That is, until a recent excavation unearthed compelling evidence of their work. The crystals we believed were used in their healing. Crystal healing! Unfortunately, we were able to decide how they're meant to be used. It was at this juncture that we petitioned for Mikoto's assistance. It's the panic face mention of crystal healing. Well, lass, made any progress? My initial analysis suggests the crystals were artificially created at some point in the distant past. Materials used suggest they were most likely produced by the ancestral peoples of this area. More, their ethereal signature was strikingly similar to the oscillatory frequency of brainwaves, which, when made to resonate with a distinct frequency and NR-type permanent vibrations of an individual's... I've done it again, haven't I? Such a cute emote. Think a simple approach is in order, then. Every living being is comprised of corporeal ether of the flesh, incorporeal ether of the soul, and the ethereal residue of their memories. Were one to be possessed of only corporeal ether, they would be but a walking corpse. Conversely, entities comprised only of incorporeal ether are referred to in layman's terms as ghosts. In either case, they may also retain some of their residual memories. Zombies and ghosts, I follow. Crystals are able to isolate and resonate with the ethereal signature of memories. This allowed the seer to probe the minds of their patients. Too well and good, lass, but if their mind what it used to be, although it was too deep in their cups to remember what you're looking for. An excellent question, Master Geralt. We're all possessed of two types of memory, explicit and implicit. The name suggests that explicit memories refer to active remembrance of previous experiences, while implicit memories are acquired and stored passively. When making a new acquaintance, their appearance will become part of your explicit memory, allowing you to recall that information. Should a great deal of time pass without meeting, however, such recollection will prove difficult. In that moment, your mind also takes record of the sounds and smells of the location, the temperature, and so on. Perhaps a demonstration would better explain this phenomenon. Without a seer? Shuffle and try and sit less like a gremlin. Thankfully, that will not be necessary. When I was first told of the seers and their practices, I was immediately reminded of your ability to peer into the past. Oh! I believe these people were blessed with a similar gift, and it is for that reason they were chosen to serve as seers. Though I too am possessed of the echo, I lack the ability to peer in the past as you do, and thus have been unable to wield the power of these crystals. That's why we called you here. Until now I could do naught but posit theories. With your help, however, I may now put them to the proof. And you, Master Geralt, so will be my first test subject. As an aside, poor Geralt constantly being stuck with, like, science nerds. was several expansions deep at this point. I do actually really want to try and do the Reddit grind this expansion, because I never did Eureka, I just couldn't get into it. And I want to do it for the story, but it's still difficult to do solo. Maeve, I'd like you to recall the last time you experienced the echo. Concentrate on that feeling. Master Geralt, I need you to recall a memory of the past. It may be anything you like. Better not go poking around in there, digging up something unsavoury like, you hear? Please, Master Geralt, focus. Ooh. still got this papaya song stuck in my head. I'm just going papaya, 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 papaya. God, Rowena she always looks so fashionable. Most unexpected. For reasons I cannot yet explain, it appears the echo has allowed me to accompany you into his memories. You're a skilled smith, Geralt, there's no denying that, but you hold money about as well as your liquor. What bloody good is money if you can't spend it? A man has to live a little, Rowena. Aye, and it wouldn't hurt for a man to use his head neither. With all that talent of yours, I reckon you could have amassed a small fortune by now. Could have been you sitting on the syndicate instead of Godbert. As if I'd ever want to be something like that doddering old half-dressed. Didn't realise my memory was so sharp. As you can see, implicit memory is surprisingly comprehensive. From the clear skies and the ocean waves down to the exact words of your conversation, everything appears to have been perfectly preserved. You weren't listening to that, were you? Every time someone gives you good advice, you turn around and do the complete sodding opposite. I used to like that rebellious streak of yours, but I see now you're just a bloody idiot. Honestly, I don't know what I ever saw in you. My computer is really hot and is burning my feet. Whatever you think it is you saw, it hasn't changed since. And you haven't neither. Still as beautiful as the day we met. Ha, gay. Hold on a minute, I never said anything like that. Swear on me last mug of ale. Implicit memories, while comprehensive, are not always true to the fact. In the case of painful or otherwise undesirable experiences, they can be obfuscated to protect oneself from hard truths. Perception of reality can also distort them as well, even when first committed to the mind. As time passes, such distortions can grow. Happy memories become more joyous, sad ones all the more bitter. Explicit memory is particularly sensitive to such misrepresentation of events, for manners want to remember what is most convenient for their worldview. This is why we seek the implicit, for there we are most likely to find the truth. You know what's terrible? My brain's just thinking, those clothes are going to be ruined now. Only here a week ago. Don't tell me my memory's that bleeding unreliable. Self-imposed illusion, perhaps. As I said before, the mind has a way of concealing painful memories. That's cute. Papaya. Papaya, papaya. It's stuck in my head. It's going to be stuck in my head for the rest of my life. I ain't feeling so well, if you'll excuse me. So you can see, these crystals allow us to choose specific points in a person's past to observe at will. Unlike the echo, however, what we see will not always be as it really was. There still remains the matter of finding one who has seen the replica weapons and their inscriptions. At this present juncture, we might as well be looking for a ghost. After the Gallian invasion of Bozja, it was all but cut off from the world. None were allowed in or out, meaning all of its residents, and likely any who may have glimpsed the weapons, died when the citadel was destroyed. What about soldiers stationed there who were away at the time of the incident? Even if we were able to find them, I doubt they could be persuaded to cooperate. Ow. No, please. Lord Faris, no. Osabi described that to me earlier as brain jellyfish, and now I'm only ever saying brain jellyfish. My visions. They are not of what has come to pass, but what it will be. Could it be the crystal allowed us to share my vision as well? Mikoto, Maeve, are you two alright? Sid Garland, son of the monster behind the Meteor Project? Instantly distracted by the moustache. Come to think of it, Yugiri mentioned that Dome and the Yotian Alliance have been receiving support from Garland Ironworks. I thought that meant the company should use such a moniker mere happenstance, but you mean to say Sid Garland owns his company? The one, the only. The son of Midas Van Garland lives. He must be summoned at once. If he was at the Citadel prior to its destruction, it's quite possible he may have seen the replicas. Fate is indeed a cruel mistress, pinning our hopes on a guardian, the get of that bastard Midas, no less. Is there truly no other way? Basilgen, please. Very well. I only hope our fallen comrades can forgive us. We've been doing a lot of pinning our hopes on guardians recently, so... Please, bring us to Sid Garland, for the people of Bozja, for all of Ilsabard. You know what just makes me happy? The fact that we've got a female row as one of the main characters here. Finally. More female representation. Give me more strong women to love. Ooh, somebody in say chat has linked the what's this called? Someone in chat. So Spiritus is a summoner one. It is, of course, it's a summoner one because it's the one that's got the horn. I mean, I imagine part of it would be learning that, like, not all guardians are bad by din at their birthplace. That's really pretty. I think I may have to. I think this is going to be my grammar. I do like the crystal book that I had, but I like this a lot more. If it's dyeable, I'd like to be able to dye these feathers so that they match the light purple. I mean, when we get the double ones, I'd like to be able to dye the feathers to match my coat. Officer isn't online, so I can't ask him. I'd like to talk to Makoto, but I think she may have disappeared off the face of the earth, so... Son of Midas Nangalan, an imperial deserter. My, what curious company we keep. Forgive me, is there what you need? During the Third Astral Era, Queen Gunhilda united fragment tribes of the Hrothgar to rise up and drove off the Alligans, eventually going on to found the nation of Bozja. It should be noted that Gunhilda was not a name, but rather a title bestowed to the current monarch of any given age. Common thread connecting all rulers of Bozja is their ability to read the stars. There are others who shared in this ability, but they're said to be the greatest seers of their respective ages. They were also said to be great warriors. When doing battle with the Alligans or any other would-be invaders, the Queen could always be found commanding from the front lines. Alas, Bozja would fall in the wake of the Fourth Armed Calamity. By some miracle, some few survived and were able to build what we know as the city-state of Bozja today. Pardon me, I've got hiccups again. They were the elite guard of the Queen, masters of the myriad arms and magic, said to be the greatest warriors of their age. Their combat prowess was matched only by the devotion to Queen Gunhilda. They would not hesitate to give their lives in her service, and should one of these warriors fall in battle, the holy blade would be passed on to a suitable successor. Over time, the title as Gunhilda's blades would become synonymous with the gunblade, which gained great renown during the war against the Alligans. There's not Bozjan alive who does not know the tale of their heroism. I have no doubt reforging these weapons will lend us both the strength and resolve we need to succeed. I wonder if, given that Misija is from here, I wonder if I could make Myron be Bozjan. With Master Geralt's help, we've nearly all that's required to reforge the weapons of Queen Gunhild's guard. While it's true that the legends of them might duly embarrassing, to simply call them the Blades of Gunhild would do little to differentiate these new armaments from the weapons veld. After all, we do not wish to give this impression that the originals have been recovered. After much thought, Master Geralt offered a simple and surprisingly satisfactory suggestion of resistance weapons. He also went on to make a rather curious remark about the steps to be taken in their forging, that these weapons can be enhanced further in accordance with the enemies one faces. By the sounds of it, these weapons are nearly truly complete until their purposes fulfilled. Been 2 years since I joined the Resistance. Before then, I lived as all Bozjans did, under the harsh rule of the Empire. It's the only life I've ever known, though my parents often spoke to me of what they remembered from the days of Bozja's independence. Though it was under the auspices of Argalian oppressors, I was educated in prehistoric archaeology. While I'm thankful for the opportunities afforded me, I could not turn a blind eye to the suffering of my people, so I left to join the Resistance. It was I who proposed to reforge the fabled weapons of Queen Gunhild's guard, and Bozja has chosen to place his faith in my plan. I take heart in knowing that all I learned from the Empire will be put to good use. So basically, Misija is Maeve's true love. That's how it be. People in Say Chat are linking the various weapons. I do like these Tonfa, but I prefer I prefer Nira's Tonfa for how they look for Monk. Where are you, Makoto? Don't mind me, unfortunately, I have to wait. I need to think. This is my favourite. I love this so much. It looks so pretty. Where on earth is Makoto hiding? It's always slightly unnerving to see. Here she is, right in front of me. Explanation of Master Geralt's memories to success, largely in part due to his trust in you, I suspect. How fortunate for us you should also be a good acquaintance of Sid's. I'm sure there is much you must do to prepare, so I will not keep you. Was there something else? I'll go through this. Scant though they are, the records we've uncovered thus far suggest the practice of seers dated back as far as the 4th Astral Era. The region was plagued with all manner of natural disasters in those days, inciting great unrest not only amongst the Bozjans, but the neighbouring nations as well. It was during these tumultuous times seers first appeared. In fact, I have reason to believe they possess the Echo. Using a crystal focus, they are able to delve into the minds of the downcast and heartsick, seeking out their darkest memories and altering them to ease people's burdens. Perhaps they saw the altering of minds as a necessity for their survival, but we must consider the ethical implications of such a method in this day and age. I have no doubt my betters and Charlene would consider it to be reprehensible. My initial analysis of the crystals suggests they're man-made. Nothing in my data can prove the material is unique to this region, which leads me to believe that the Bozjans, or rather the seers, created them. However, given the intricate lattices found in these crystals, it seems highly improbable the Bozjans could have produced them, considering the methods available to them in the 4th Astral Era. In fact, in closer inspection, it became clear that its structure was quite similar to those found in Allegans, which begs the questions: who are the seers and from whence did they come? This is a bit of working theory, but I suspect their roots can be traced back to the Allegans themselves, perhaps survivors of the 4th Umbral Calamity who wished to atone for the sins of their forebears. They came to these lands seeking a means to help the Bozjans, and in doing so created these crystal foci. As I said, just a bit of working theory, though I understand so it sounds more like a flight of fancy. Perhaps we'll start with the explanation that I did before. Okay, there's corporeally through the flesh, and corporeal the soul, and the ethereal residue, moist residue, of an individual's memories. There is one person I know in the world who will understand that reference. One to be possessed of any corporeal, they'd be a zombie, referred to as ghosts, and they both have memories. Using crystal focus, we can isolate the ethereal signature of memories, much in the same way with the seer's den, we can delve into and explore the specific memories. For while the information stored in person's memories can be quite comprehensive, not always true to fact, can be distorted due to passage time, or even when first committed to the mind as a result of personal bias. Some memories are consciously stored and recalled, while implicit subconscious information, after all, individuals actively choosing to recall an event, who's to say they will not make alterations better suit their liking? Why we seek information from implicit memory, which is more likely to be preserved free of the bias of an individual's worldview. Echo can manifest itself in myriad ways, depending on the individual. I was gifted the ability to peer into the future. It is found much like prophetic dreams and divinations, yet quite different, for such visions only tell of the future's potential. Echo does not show me what may happen, but what will happen. Scholars speculate Messiah Thousand Eyes too shared this gift, hence the alarming accuracy of the passages written in her divine chronicles. Visions are decidedly rare occurrence, usually containing some crucial insight into matters presently unfolding before me. For better or for worse, I've never had visions of an impending threat in my life or those around me. Not that I'd want to see such things, of course. Can you imagine knowing of a certain doom that cannot be avoided? Once spoke of my visions to an acquaintance, a relatively harmless glimpse of the future, and it resulted in a terrible argument. I fear I could not bear the weight of grimmer tidings. That's neither here nor there. My gift is but a trivial thing. Nothing you should have to think about. That feels like, Hobo Bobo's here. I'm just looking at chat in the meantime, in-game chat. There isn't much to tell, I assure you. Due to advanced placement, I found myself attending the studio much earlier than most. Research in the field of ethology would eventually earn me title of Archon. When I'm not conducting researches in the field, I conduct lectures at the studio. Mon Breeder was my mentor. Would not be the scholar I am today if not for her. Fond memories of the many nights we toiled together, working on her original plans for the FFXIV. She was like a sister to me. Speaking of which, I do have a sister actually, an identical twin in fact, though I've not spoken since she too was named an Archon. She was my better in all aspects of academia, but she often disagreed with the views of the forum. I can but assume that's why she took a leave of the studio. She was always so strong-willed and quite critical of those around her. Sadly, we never got along very well growing up. I often wonder if that's why Mon Breeder was quick to take me under her wing. I still see her in my dreams, always offering a warm smile and words of encouragement. If we were to use the crystal focus, perhaps there'd be a way to speak with her again. A tempting prospect, but in the end I know it would not truly be her. Thanks for making me sad. I know. I want to know if we're ever going to meet her or who she is. I do not imagine he sympathises with our plight, but from what I gather, he has no love for the Empire either. If that be suffice in persuading him to aid us, then so be it. I hear there are engineers stationed in Rolga's Reach. Perhaps you can begin your search for Garland there. You got it. Please. I can teleport out of here and finally get away from all these people causing me to lag. Aww. Cool bunny with sunglasses. Savory also lived with an amigo, so on and so off. The name is Lilja, newest recruit to the thingy. What can I do for you? Chief, too busy by half corner to Jesse. Between you and me, though, I think it's a load of... Hi, Jesse. Do go on. A load of what? I was saying what a load off your shoulders it must be, knowing the chief is back from whatever he was doing. Speaking of whom, Maeve said they wanted to speak with him about... What was it again? God damn it. Lilja, you might hear better than most, but you're a terrible listener. Would you mind starting again from the beginning? See, well, you just missed him. Sarah's wall is due for maintenance, and he had a mind to oversee it personally. That said, any matters concerning you are top priority. I'll see if I can reach him. Ring, 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 ring. Link phone. I love Lilja so much. Take this as an average day for you. Must be hard. Always having to put on a brave face or you're thrust into danger. People tugging you this way and that, like some sort of errand mog. I mean... Not that we don't appreciate what you do for us. Goodness knows I do. In fact, well, you see, I'm something of a fan. I knew the Ironworks worked with you on occasion, but I didn't think I've had the chance to meet you in person. Can I shake your hand? Lilja, Sid being back took a load on my shoulders, not yours. Don't you have work to do? Oh, right, work. Duty calls, but hopefully we'll meet again soon. I hope we do, because I love her already. I love her sunglasses. I love her cute little tufts of fur. Chief says he'll meet you at the Noman Enclave. Not the most convenient of locations, but it'll have to do, I'm afraid. One more thing. The Bozja incident is something of a sore spot for the Chief. Even if it was an accident, most people outside the Empire remember it as a massacre. Chief might tried to put stop to his father's blah blah blah. Sure tried to blah 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 blah. All that genius in the man can't find a way to forgive himself. Sorry, I skipped a bunch of dialogue there accidentally. So if you're aiming to go digging through the past, be careful. I dread to think what demons he's got locked away in that brain of his. I mean, we've all suffered the pain of having co-workers who slack off on chat all day rather than doing their work. Stares deliberately at half the people in my office. I can feel her on that one. Though Liltra is also my new favourite character. Tough has managed to take armor plating when she wants to be, but her heart's in the right place. A shame she's always so busy. As you, if I'm not mistaken. I won't keep you any longer. Best of luck. I don't want any of these. Spell sweet, I guess. She said he'd be waiting to meet you at the Demon Enclave, didn't he? Well, best not keep him waiting. Yeet. I can't type. Should not be allowed to try and type. The Enclave's so pretty. Kozakura's working like a woman. Ah, shit the bed. I didn't mean to pick this up. Oh, fuck me. I just sort of... pretend that didn't happen. I was going on autopilot and not paying attention. 'Cause I'm dumb. I'm not doing that for now. I'm saving that for when I have a crafter gatherer at level 70. I'm sitting and restlessly pacing about the Enclave. If you wait here, I'm sure he'll come by before long. Speak of the devil. Hard to believe this place was, until recently, occupied by the Gallians. Derma has a long way to go before it regains its former glory, but they're off to a good start. Speaking of that, so I've heard. If the Bozjans wish to follow the Derma's lead, I plan to do what I can to help them. In fact, I've already spoken to Lord Hien and agreed to divert part of the Ironworks resources to assist in Derma's reconstruction. The offer seemed to have taken him by surprise, but I assured him that in addition to the Ironworks' commitment to freedom through technology, I have my own reasons to reverse the destruction wrought by the Empire. While it's true that I eventually defected, I played no small part in the development of magitechno used by their military. Sometimes at the threads you can't see that have the strongest ties. Would that I could cut them. And how did Lord Hien take your response? Our talks were focused mainly on the reconstruction, as we thought it best to wait for your arrival to discuss how I might help the Bozjans. If I could have made my father see reason, there'd been no Bozja incident. But I was powerless to stop him. I mean, one presumes he was also a kid, so... Talk to me about unfair father-child family dynamics. You're right, there's a time for wallowing in self-pity and a time for action. I plan to do whatever I can for the Bozjan resistance, but they're up against the 4th Legion. If they get to stand a chance, the allies here in the east won't be enough. They're going to need all the help they can muster. Which legion is it that's doing the ruby weapon again? I'm not entirely sure what part I'll have to play in all this, and I doubt anything I do now will be enough to atone for my past mistakes. But if it means throwing a spanner in the Empire's works, then count me in. Still pretty much a child. I think my dad treated me as an adult at 18 only because at that point I'd lived out for a year. Somebody goes speeding past on the motorcycle, it makes a very loud noise. Yeah, at 19 you are still basically a kid. Just because you can legally drink and vote doesn't mean that you're actually an adult. I love the music here so much. So good. Oh, there's Hobo Bobo. I told you it was real. Upon speaking with Makoto, several cutscenes will play in sequence. Right. Let's do this. Stretch out the arms and prep for a cutscene warning. Take a drink of water to prepare my voice for having to read a lot of dialogue, one presumes. Okay, I guess we're just explaining. It's a dramatic pan across. The problem with that is it feels a bit like when somebody forgets to cut a shot and then renders. If you're ready, I would begin our explanation. Think back to your time at Bozja Citadel. You needn't focus on a specific memory if that helps. Alright, just promise me you'll be careful in there. I'm going to take a painkiller because I can feel pain starting to build back up again. Horse pills. I've taken those dry before and hated it. But the joy of being reliant on painkillers to function is that sometimes you have no choice. Oh. Load screen. Load screen. Why? My light keeps unfocusing. It's just Bozja Citadel, right? At least I think it is. Was everything so distorted when you tested this before? Your recollection of this place appears grossly incomplete. I can but assume your memory is not spanned laboring over details. Let's look for the transmission tower in the Principia. Anything would have been stored over there. Memory is being what by subconscious. See that? Military based out of thin air, appeared out of thin air. Or out of my mind, I suppose. Ow! Because you mentioned the Principia, I wonder? What in the world? The road just ends. Consequence of your incomplete memories. You have to think back, Sid. Where did this road lead? I could make that jump. Calling the citadel shouldn't be so difficult. Do you remember where the Imperial troops were heading? Not specifically, no, but they were on edge. Something to do with the Academy's research. Remember the blue the cobblestone streets? If not for the occasional military installation, it would have looked like any other city. Wait, I remember. You've done it, Sid. The road has returned. We should be able to reach the Principia if we keep heading north. I like this. Look, there's the transmission tower. Site of the Bozja incident. Come on, Sid. You have to remember. Tries my mind is drawing a blank. Maybe there's something around here that might jog my memory. Psychological stimulus to prompt recollection. Yes, that might work. I can smell Normie's Magitech armor. No doubt left after a fierce battle. Brochures, they're not of Imperial design. Save these weapons, there's naught to be found here. Well, and the Magitech armor. Weapons and Magitech armor? Right, the fighting had already started and I was... Well done, Sid. Let us press onwards. It's all starting to come back to me now. And it's all coming back to me. Tension in the air is palpable. Ah, right. The soldiers were on high alert that day. The Bozjan resistance had infiltrated the Citadel to stop the Academy's experiments. Do you suppose it's possible we can tamper with this memory? Curious question. One I believe worth investigating. Shall we? I'm uncomfortable with that, personally, but hey. You know what, Sid? It's your memories. If you want to tamper with it, then who am I to stop you? Huh. Memory appears to be mending itself? Interesting. Altering memories is easier said than done, it seems. Well, let's keep going. It's off to the old with you. No, please, anything but that. Here we are, the Principia. Inside is the transmission tower. Yeet. Ah. Ah, brain jellyfish. What in the seven hells are these? Could they be manifestations of your subconscious? If so, they likely seek to suppress your memories of the Citadel, meaning they intend to purge us from your mind. We cannot let them. Whenever I get depressed now, what I'm describing it is that I have the brain jellyfish. So no end to them? We have to hold on, lest they succeed in erasing us from Sid mind. By the time I put my dots on them, they will all be dead, so... Should maybe not stand directly in that attack, huh? Curious that we could defeat these, but not the soldiers earlier. Perhaps because they're not truly part of the memory? We can worry about that later. Come on, we're nearly to the tower. Scooch, scooch. It's me imitating running. So dumb. Just a little further. God, I really would like it if my painkillers would kick in about now, please. I've got one of those. Bahamut? This has to be another attempt by your subconscious to stop us. Please, Sid, you have to put yourself together. We're sure I'm not suffering from a sudden onset of psychosis. We've no choice but to fight. Otherwise, his subconscious will do something to the memory. seems to be having an adverse effect on Sid's psyche. Quick, Maeve, we have to stop it. I'm trying. Mm-hmm. I was singing this song very loudly to myself earlier because I had oh boy. It's alright, I know how to do this one. Look, see? I've got one. I can do that too. Yeah, I was singing this to myself earlier. I'm gonna sneeze. Pardon me, oh Jesus. Okay, well, never mind. That was because I sneezed in the middle of that, and so I couldn't see the safe spot. I'm very sorry for sneezing directly on camera. Both of my hands were on the keyboard. Okay. Please say it saved my progress so I don't have to sit through all of that horse shit. It does save your progress, right? Resume from midway. I'll do it on normal. Okay. This time, less fucking up. Sid, if you moved out the AoEs, that would really help. Wish you could, like, rescue him. Anyway, look, look. My Bahamut isn't as cool as that one, I'll be honest, and it's slightly smaller as well, but... Sounds like an old Nightmare song to me, this does. I think it's just... I don't know why. I think it's just my brain, to be honest. TBH, to be honest. Right. Let's not sneeze or die. How did I get hit by Earthshakers? That's so rude. Oh, Jesus. Somebody around here is burning something. Nice. Thank you. I feel better now. Perhaps now your subconscious will be more forthcoming with the truth in this memory. You tell him, Makoto. Yeah, I can definitely smell something burning from outside. The fire alarm's not going off though. Oh, I missed that dialogue. Sid, do you recall this happening? Sid may be babby, but he's still beefy as ever. Yeah, the fire alarm's not going off. Father, please, if you would just look over this data. Enough, damn you. Next time you question me shall be the last. Now leave. You of all people should understand the risks. Why do you refuse to see reason? Because you've got problems. It's rather unlike him to overlook data, no matter the source. Look here, he left behind his research documentation. Pick up the research documents and find page after page of meticulous calculations and observational data on Dalamud. Young Sid posits that the lesser moon may very well possess the ability to harness and manipulate solar energy. Moreover, the vast stores of energy it amassed over the millennia, should they be in use, would far exceed any parameters the transmission tower may have been designed to withstand. By the gods, this data, the Empire would invite a calamity. So many sleepless nights spent on those damn papers, all for nothing. It's because your dad is a shitheel. If my suspicions are correct, then he was already... never mind, let us press on. Was Midas... being... what's the word I'm looking for? Not possessed, but, primaled. There they are, the replicas of Gunhill's blades. Was he already tempered? That's what I'm looking for. Was he being tempered? I have a distinct... No, it wasn't. It was Nail, wasn't it, who was tempered? Maybe I'm making that up. One of those is my book. Know your place, whelp. The Meteor Project cannot, will not be stopped. Certainly not by the likes of you. God, he's so small. No, this is wrong. Emperor Solus couldn't have been there. Old man Solus. Jesus. No, please. Lord Varus, no. Sid, you mustn't forget, this is only a memory. Wait, so Varys shot young Sid? That's fucked up. Sid Garland, bringer of ruin, herald of ash, your father must be so proud. How does it feel to know such calamity follows in your wake, that your failings bring death to all you hold dear? What we're learning from this is that the Garlean Empire is an empire made up of abusive shitheads who should be decapitated and thrown in the dirt. And now you would set this filth against me. Very well. I would love it so much if my painkiller would please kick the fuck in. But one fate awaits those who oppose the will of the Empire. Trauma's too much. He's lost control. But the memory is false, Maeve. Perhaps you can alter it with the echo. Think of your truest friends. We've summoned a bunch of nerds. It was always your greatest strength, instilling in others the courage to rise up, the courage to fight for what's right. Rise with me, rise with me, rise with me, rise up, rise with me, rise with me, rise with me, rise up. We've got 3 healers now, I've just realised. Imagine if I come in an Astro. It's all healers all the time. Varus, yeet, Galvus. Beep. The Meteor Project cannot be stopped. I will not allow it. I'm going to turn my down a little bit because all of the noises are very loud. Ow. Thanks, Alfie. Whoops. Yeet. Going to not stand in front of that. Yep. Okay. Huh. Alia Yacta Est. Yeah. Yacta thrown or fallen? God. Altius means higher or highest? God, I long for the days when I just had Latin memorized. Spent too long working for a shitty college, I can't remember anything that I used to know. Ah, this is a get-in mechanic. Thanks, Stola. To live is to be a soldier. Or militare? I'm guessing that's... my... Oh. Can't take the brunt of it. I can take the brunt of it, but I'll need a little help. Piteous worms. There'll be naught left of you but ash. Aha! I've done this before. I'm sure militare is to be a soldier. This is extremely cool. I'm a fan of this. Hurry. Thought to give you a quick, painless death, alas. pretty certain he did that just as I went into Firebird, and now I have to die. Electrified gun shield, that sounds bad. Again, not stand in front of him. Ignicist. There is fire. Ah, don't stand there, me. Bad. Bad. Okay, knockback. Ow! Yes, I'm pretty certain that means higher. Not that ability. I hate healing through that. Just by the by. Also, lol, gun shield. I mean, it makes sense that you would have a gun blade and a gun shield, but still. Surely Gunbreaker's whole aesthetic is, I don't give a shit. Mikoto, don't drop your AoE on me. Just because I'm more mobile than a black mage doesn't make me actually mobile. Will do you, Yoshe. Thanks. The Empire cannot, must not. Oh no. Alia Iactus means the die has been thrown. I could not remember what Alia stood for. Altius. Meaning? Faster, higher, stronger. So yeah, Altius is higher. I can remember my comparatives. I was right, by the way. That ability did mean to live as to be a soldier. That's what I was just googling. Make sure my Latin is correct. This is really unnerving. Well, if it isn't Varus, then who in the hells is it? What could I possibly have to hide from myself? Even worse. Even worse content. So it was you who pulled the trigger, Piglet. Sid, look, his eyes. There's a dramatic cut to the Mog face there. Bad content. No, it can't be. Contact with Downward was able to stir Bahamut to consciousness. It stands to reason the Dread Realm discovered a way to link to the tower, and thereby enslave your father. I knew it! In which case, there was nothing that could be done for him. There is no arguing or reasoning with such individuals. There is only the will of the primal. I had this stuck in the back of my head somewhere, either from guessing or from knowing. I'm sure I've seen it mentioned, if Bahamut was controlling your father at the time of the accident. then in all likelihood it wasn't an accident. Maybe somebody mentioned that, or... Eef. Woof. So the truth finally comes to light. Fucking... Jesus. It's just, I don't think the Garleans themselves are bad. I think the Garlean Empire is a whole bunch of shit. Established by bad people. And, what we're learning from this, kids, is that imperialism is always bad. It doesn't matter what's going on, it doesn't matter what's happening. Empires are bad. Trying to take over other countries, just don't do it. Not even once. Being extremely warm all of a sudden because you got in a bad mood, do it many times. Also, I'm wearing my Pits and Pervert shirt. If you haven't seen Pride 2014, watch Pride 2014. It's the best film there is. Did not read his dialogue there, whoops. Crazy bastards did it. Once Makoto's described the inscriptions to me, I'll have those weapons forged in no time. On behalf of the Bozja resistance, you have my deepest thanks. I'm just glad I could help. Ever since that fateful day, the truth of what befell our loved ones had eluded us. I held the Empire and your father responsible for their part in the tragedy, and for many years that hatred was all that kept me going. Indeed, I was blinded by that hatred, so much so that even you appeared to me as an enemy. I could not see the blood, sweat and tears you poured into bettering the lives of those seeking freedom from the Empire. I could see only a Garlean, and for that I am sorry. Character growth! If you can forgive me, let us be allies, united against a common foe. Come now, I'm the one who should apologise to you. After all, my father and what the Empire did, even if not all of their own volition, their crimes will never be forgotten. I'd hazard even victory of the Empire won't be enough to ease such pain. And even now that I know the truth behind the Bozja incident, all it's done is make me question the choices that led me here to this moment. But regardless of the past, we have to keep pressing forward, one step at a time, for freedom. Just as the heroes of Eld would have done. We Bozjans grew up on such tales, peerless warriors, pure of heart and unwavering in their conviction. Yet here we are, so full of doubt and uncertainty. Will we ever earn our place in the pages of history? Cheer up, Bazzojan. If we live long enough, perhaps we'll be the ones to join them. You say the crystal focus is no longer responsive? Pure stores of ether resided when it had been depleted. I did not expect your explosion of your mind to be such a taxing endeavour. Once I identify its etheric affinity in a power source with a compliant energy frequency, I'm certain its reserves can be replenished. I thought perhaps the Alliance could use it to extract information from some of their less cooperative Garlean captives, but nothing's ever that easy, is it? I'm afraid ethology is beyond the scope of my expertise, so I'll leave the rest to you. If you need anything, don't hesitate to call for me. Thank you for all your help, Master Sid. Well, I better head back. I have a mountain of work waiting for me. And you better actually do some of it, Sid. Before you go... If you ever feel lost, you can always talk to me. Of course, if I run into any ether-related problems, you'll be the first to know. Oh, poor Makoto. I saw what you were going for, Makoto. It's okay. Right, I really must get to work on the crystal focus. You know what I would fucking kill for some of that too. Ah, this is the dialogue I missed. Was Bahamut's thriller, no one was the wiser, not even your own son. Oh, my chat has gone floating into the ethersphere. Is anybody around to chat to? No. Okay. Looks like it is. Oh, Miss CJ is there. Everything is at last in place to begin work on the weapons of Queen Gunhilda's guard. Master Geralt will apprise you further of any progress in the forging. In the meantime, we'll begin preparations for battle. I look forward to seeing you on the front lines. Tuning to all Ethernet shards in the Doman Enclave will now unlock Gangos as an Ethernet. Pardon me for the hiccups. Whoops. God, this music is so good. Meanwhile, in Valnain and Damaska. Our spies at the Gangos encampment have confirmed work on the Blades of Gunhilda is underway. They're welcome to them. Who has needed such trinkets when the Lady of Blades will soon be in play? We will proceed as planned. When the forces reach Bozja, you know what must be done. Go away, Noah! Understood. Fuck off, Noah Vang, shithead. Empire is fated to fall, but in its place a new nation shall rise, grander and mightier than anything the Guardians could ever have dreamed. And it shall be made possible by the very power they abhor. Big, and I cannot emphasize this enough, concerned cat energy. Wait, are they going to summon her as a primal? On the edge of memory. Save the Queen, chapter the 1st. Bad content. Inception. What an incredible... I do love the translators for this. Somewhere around here there's a Grace friend. Still much to do before we can make a next move, and I'm sure you have other duties yet to demand your attention. Nothing else you wish to discuss? I will not keep you. The initial invasion of Bozja was led by Vash van Garbranth. Be a change of commander not long after, however. 30 years ago, during the invasion of Damaska, his health took an unexpected turn for the worse, and his son Noah van Garbranth, oversaw the conquest to its completion. He was a mere 20 years old when he assumed full command. 4th Imperial Legion itself was rather unique compared to most, for the bulk of their forces are not native Guardians, the present leader included. Both Noah and his father were quick to bend the knee to Emperor Solus, from what I've been told. Perhaps it was that ardent loyalty that helped them rise to such prominence. But not all were such followers of the Empire. Quite the contrary, I would hazard the greater part of the soldiers were like us, seeing little recourse but to serve, lest they be put to the sword. Though I suppose the unwavering loyalty of the 4th Imperial Legion is what serves it to set it apart from the West, or to be more precise, its loyalty to Noah. What's more, you will come to find they are not wont to rely on Magitech armaments like most Imperial soldiers. They seem to prefer fighting the old-fashioned way, employing arcane magics, techniques akin to summoning, and all manner of feral beasts rather than depend on heavy artillery. If recent reports are to be believed, these would be the least of our concerns. The battalions en route to Bozja are said to be led by Lion Sas Helsos. He is a strategist whose cunning is matched only by his renown as a tamer of beasts, and is rumoured that he alone is worth more than 1,000 rank and file troops. One might say he has a history with their resistance. Hints for Beastmaster is another class, possibly? Leader of the 4th Imperial Legion, one of the longest ever to take such a position. His father, Vash van Garbranth, served as legatus before him, claiming many a victory in the name of the Empire. Vash was knight of the Republic of Flanders, which, like so many other nations, was fast to fall at the hands of the Empire. Rather than die with dignity, he was quick to bend the knee to the conquerors, ingratiating himself with the Emperor and earning his place as legatus. It was quite a feat, given he was not of Garlic blood. One can but imagine the lengths to which he went to earn their trust, but it's clear he laboured hard to keep it. His health took an unexpected turn for the worse during the invasion of Damaska, which afforded Noah the opportunity he needed to rise prominence. It was under Noah's leadership that Rabanassi would fall. Then, when his father passed 2 years later, he was named the next legatus. Many believe it was a conquest of Damaska that earned him the position, but some argue he was appointed on the recommendation of the Emperor, perhaps in recognition of his father's service to the Empire. Noah would continue in his father's footsteps. 4th Imperial Legion would continue to be comprised primarily of foreign soldiers, and the loyalty to the new legatus was unwhelming. One might expect such a legion to remain within the Emperor's good graces, but it would not be so when Varus took the throne. For several years he appointed them to quelling of uprisings from remote provinces, as if to keep them at arm's length. Perhaps he suspected an ulterior motive to the Grabrant seeking to gain such fervent adoration from the Fourth Imperial Legion. I have no proof, of course, but one cannot help but wonder. Yeah, fucking no surprise, buddy. Once known as Alamet Fortress, erected in the hopes of deterring the Gallians. After the Bozja incident, it would be rebuilt and given a name, Castrum Lacus Litore. Its position to the north of Bozja will make it a critical strategic point in battles to come. If we're to have any hope of reclaiming Bozja, we must first gain control of the Castrum. The location was originally chosen for its natural defences. Being surrounded on all sides by steep cliffs made Alamet Fortress all but impregnable, assuming of course one had the wherewithal to defend it. When the Guardians came, the Magitech weaponry was unlike anything we had ever seen. A great many lives were lost in our struggle to hold the fortress, and in the end we were simply outmatched. Present, the Castrum was held by Legatus Gabrant, separate in command, Menenius Rem Lenatus. An interesting choice, to say the least. Lenatus was a well-known family with long and august lineage, that is, until they incurred the ire of the Emperor, tarnishing their name and robbing them of their position in Gallian society. And yet Barsh van Gabrant would choose members of the family to serve under him. Perhaps he sensed their desperation to redeem their honour. If that is the case, the road to redemption is long indeed, for 2 generations of Lenatus served under the Gabrants. Imagine the recognition they would receive for thwarting our attempts to take the fortress. You can be sure he will do all in his power to stop us. So primarily is liaison twixt Bozja and resistance to our allies. I'll not deny there's still much for me to learn, but I'll do everything within my power to see Bozja free of the Empire. If that should mean my life, then so be it. Wish to know of my past? No different than most, I would imagine. Conscription by the Empire, which is the only reason I was not present in the Citadel to die alongside my kin in the Bozja incident. Some would call it a massacre planned by the Empire, but I'm not ready to believe they would so willingly kill so many of their own soldiers and engineers. I am. It's okay, I'll believe it for you. I've been raised under Gallian doctrine. I realise that not all of them are the bloodthirsty monsters many of us would paint them to be. Empire would seek to oppress us. I do not share the same animosity towards the citizens as my resistance comrades. These musings are better left between the two of us, yes? And not have the others think of me as a coward or traitor to the cause. Appingans. To discuss. Home rests in the southern reaches of Ilsabad, to the west of Dalmasca. Earliest records, or at least those we've been able to recover, suggest Bozja was founded at some point during the Third Astral Era. Allagan Empire had reached the height of its power, and several tribes of the Hrothgar came here seeking refuge from their supremacy. It was Queen Gunhilda who would keep the Allagans at bay. Her radiance would light our path of prosperity, and by her grace was the nation of Bozja founded. Alas, the Fourth Umbral Calamity would see the end of her kingdom, but those who survived slowly rebuilt, and Bozja was reborn as a city-state that would coexist with neighbouring nations for centuries to come. Gallian Empire's rise to power changed everything. None could oppose the sheer strength and versatility of their military. Campaign began some 50 years ago, and now an entire generation of our people has been raised knowing only oppression. But now they would know freedom. When word reached us that Alamigo and Derma had risen up to defy the Empire, we seized the opportunity to flee and form pockets of resistance. With Lord Hien's assistance, the several groups that formed were merged into a single cohesive force, and I was chosen as leader. If the Fourth Imperial Legion is able to consolidate its forces in Bozja, however, our efforts will be for naught. We have to strike back, and soon. For the present, this is our base of ops. To the southeast of it remains the Bozja Citadel. When the fighting begins, we will hold the line here. For a blessing, the surrounding wetlands and the fog that persists year-round have served to conceal our operation. That is not to say, of course, we have not taken additional measures to remain hidden. In the unlikely event that the scouts should approach the perimeter, our mages have cast a cloaking spell around the area to keep us from sight. Havens such as this are plentiful along the southern coast of Ilsabad. Our facilities are modest, I confess, but I'd like to think we've made great strides in providing for our soldiers here. All that remains is to secure the plains of Gunhilda. Roughly 20 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, Empire, fearful of the threat posed by Pramals and the tribes who summoned them, devised a plan to wipe them out. Meteor Project. Through the use of Magitech, they intended to recreate an ancient sorcery capable of calling down meteors. At the helm of the project was their chief engineer, Midas Nangarland. In time, every last one of the research facilities was involved in its development. Project would take a perilous turn when it was discovered that the Lesbian Dalamud was in fact a satellite of Allagan design, determined to make it part of their plans. So they erected a colossal transmission tower, designed to control Dalamud. Its first test would also prove to be its left. For lack of eyewitnesses, what happened next is difficult to describe. It is often described as an explosion, but the ruins showed no signs of gunpowder or magic. We only know that a terrible light shone from the heavens that night. In an instant, the citadel was gone. Its citizens and soldiers, my family. No one is certain why Dalamud responded with such destructive force, but all work in the Meteor Project was halted immediately. 5 years later, however, Neil Van Dana set the wheels of the project back into motion. His devotion was rewarded with the coming of the Seventh Umbral Calamity. The world has already paid too great a cost for the Guardian's ambition. They must be stopped. I was born in Bozja, though I've never known a life free from the Empire's rule. Following in my late father's footsteps, I started to become a doctor. Much to my surprise and dismay, my academic accomplishments did not go unnoticed. I was taken to the capital, where I received formal education in medicinal science. Deployments as a medic in the military soon followed. Service was ultimately rewarded with citizenship, after which I met my wife and we started a family together. The goal was for me to grow content and complacent. It failed, for not a day went by that I did not think about the liberation of my homeland. But I would need to bide my time a while longer, for I was assigned to the 4th Imperial Legion. There was an uprising in Nancha, and it fell to us to quell their insurrection. It was not until after our mission was complete that I learned what happened to Bozja, to my family. Returned as fast as we were able, nothing left of the citadel. I was ordered to run to the capital, but I had to find my wife and children. I covered every elm of that barren wasteland, and nothing. Chains in the prison cell greeted me back in Garlemald, but in spite of my confinement, whispers of what happened in Bozja eventually reached me, of their failed experiment to control Dalamud. Stripped of my citizenship, I expected to remain into lock and key until the end of my days. Fortunately for me, they had needed more medics for the next campaign. I'd never reached the battlefield, for I escaped with a number of other soldiers to join the resistance. Many years of service then molded me into the man who stands before you, and I continue to serve as long as it takes to see our homeland safe. Right. Maeve, my, that I should find you here of all places. Though I suppose it's only right, considering I followed you. My well of inspiration is run dry, you see, and it's my hope that change of scenery might offer the impetus my work requires. Time again, you have proven a knack for finding fascinating locales, with equally fascinating stories unfolding soon after. When such a tale does finally unfold, I should very much like to hear it. I've got news for you, buddy. Battle fought in the mind of a dear companion? How thrilling, how compelling. Please tell me more. Please tell me more. A spectre of the late Emperor Varus. I suppose even a figment of one's memory, assuming sufficient creative liberties are taken, can prove as fearsome as a man of flesh and blood. Admittedly, I cannot claim to have witnessed his prowess firsthand, but who has not heard tales of savagery, his unparalleled might? Do you believe inspiration struck, my friend? The brutal battle of words which preceded a nightmarish clash twixt the Emperor and the realm's great liberator. You dare approach me thus, Lord Varus scoffed. When men of greater strength and mind would flee, you dare commit to such folly? To which the liberator coolly replied, How else am I to smite thee, save approaching? An admirable attempt, if I was still learning my letters, perhaps. Seems my prose yet wants for inspiration. Might you humour me with a more detailed account of your confrontation? I require a more vivid picture if I'm to do justice of your deeds. I have never seen or read JoJo, so... Wow, sad memory. Red Spy, Sequence Santana, and Revenant's Toll. What are the other items? Hi, Geralt. Give me my cool book, please. Ready to get working on resistance weapons, lad? Upon completing West Fire in the Forge, you'll receive a resistance weapon for a summoner. Yes, please. For the glamour? Like the name resistance weapon? Crossed my mind to call him Gunhilda's Blades, but after talking with Misija, figured it'd be too confusing, seeing as that's also the name of the Queen's Guard. Any road, your timing couldn't be any better. Before we get to working in earnest, I was hoping you could tell me a bit more about what went on in Sid's noggin. I know a fair bit from Makoto, but I'd like to know if you saw any different. Sounds like I was right to ask you before starting to work. Seems to me those fancy Americans weapons are mainly for show. I can copy MI, but that won't be enough. Like as not, they were carved into the hilts as well, and to make sure the spell can take hold, you'd need a finish with fine powder what's conducive to ether. Material like that, reckon you need to consult the alchemist of Radzat-Ham. And I can only think of one person with close contacts there. Rowena? Aye, the demon is a coin. Not to worry, lad, just so happens she's been keeping up a steady shipment of supplies here on contract. If you say we need the powder for the resistance, might be as we can convince it to waive the costs. She didn't usually want to do business for charity, I know, but it's worth a try, eh? See about getting in touch with her, and after I do, you can go and meet with her and figure out the rest. Don't expect me to go and meet with her, do you? Working on the resistance weapons kept me too busy by half, and Draco, what was your name again? Zlatan, Master Garrett. Name is Zlatan, but more importantly, what if Mistress Serena doesn't agree to a charitable contribution to our cause? Sure, you and Bozja and ask her nicely, she might come round, but never mind that, we've important work to do. As for where to find Rowena, after she left Ganko, she'd be stopping over in Kogano in business. How about I have you meet her at the Umaneka tea house? For lucky, a nice cup of tea will brighten her mood. Sorry, I'm sitting like an absolute gremlin at the moment. You sit up a bit. Resistance weapons, the saga of Gunhilda's Blades. I'm so excited to get out of this laggy hellscape that we're in. Ah, never mind. Kagane is just as laggy. Wrong button. What's that need? 470. Okay. I'm not gonna try and do that with not much time before stream. Was wondering we'd show up. Geralt told me everything. You look very pretty as always, Rowena. Luckily for you, my business here was at the Thavnarian consulate. Here you are. This should be enough powder for one of those resistance weapons you're forging. I've got to hand it to Geralt. Seems to spend half his time getting deeper in debt and the other half avoiding payment. Fine by me though. Thanks to his scheming, I've a little more leverage over the resistance and by extension him as well. Pass along a message to Geralt and Basildon for you. For me, won't you? If there come more material for these weapons, I'd be more than happy to supply them. For a fee, of course. Same goes for you. I know you adventuring types are always looking to be prepared for any sort of encounter, so if you're thinking of forging another one of those resistance weapons, and I suspect you are, you know where to go. I'll see to it my girls from Revenant's Toll and Idleshire keep their shelves stocked. Until next time. I mean... Oh, let me hit all the wrong buttons. What? Did I not? Have I not unlocked all of the thingies in the Enclave? Maybe I haven't. I was absolutely certain I'd unlocked everything in the Enclave. Let me run around quickly and see. What I was going to say and then never got round to saying was, I quite like that as a name because it's very much what it says on the tin. Hi, Hakuro. In the meantime, we can enjoy the Doman Enclave music. Aha! I guess I just like hallucinated that I attuned to all of these then. I shouldn't be trusted with things in general. I'm guessing these were added, like, later, which is why... Oh, that shark mount is so good. Airship pilot, take me to Gangos, to the place where I can get fancy book. Southern Gangos, fancy book. Pilot, airship pilot, take me there. It me. God, the lag is bad. Weapons need to finish me. Just need a nice coating of powder to finish the inscription. Queensland. There you go. Of course she bloody found what we needed. Much as I hate fattening her purse with another man's coin, at least now we can do our part for the resistance. Looks so cute with the glasses. I don't know why it makes me smile so much, but it does. Fun fact, that sound is actually one of the sound of a hammer bashing on a forge is one of my least favourite sounds. Fist Rise is some of my finest work to date. Best of all, the inscription will react to your ether. A right fine weapon to rally the Bozjans, a spiritus. I reckon Gunhilda would be proud. That I should behold the glory of the fabled blades born anew. Hope is not yet lost. All in day's work for your old pal Geralt. Of course, this is only the beginning. Your skills with the hammer were truly a sight to behold, Master Geralt, and see Maeve wielding one of the holy blades thus, as if I stand before one of the heroes of old. When the time comes to do battle with the Empire, our brothers and nuns will look upon you with no courage. On behalf of the Bozjan resistance, I offer you my humblest thanks for your aid thus far. You got it. I'd love to start fresh on another weapon, but I use every last morsel of that powder on that one. Meaning we would find ourselves indebted further to Mr. Stoner were we to climb more. I must consult Baj Salchen before we go further. Looks like taking a short break then, eh? If you find yourself wanting for another weapon though, come and speak with me in the helper here. But no, that's a hammer bashing sound is one of my least favourite noises because it sounds like a headache to me. Think I found myself a nice big flag and a bell tonight. To celebrate, of course. Have fun, Geralt. It's okay. Repeatable questions available from Zlatan. The quest may be accepted to create resistance for other jobs. Please ensure you have changed to your desired job before speaking with Zlatan. Sevnarian scale powder can now be purchased from Iranian Revenant's Tollers Manor in Idleshire. Nice. I wonder. Okay, the only achievements we've got so far are for those things. As for that. I never did any of the Eureka stuff. I did the anima stuff for I never did the Zodiac weapons. Could not face that. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. I think that about finishes things off for us at the moment. Which one another best going to help her out getting more supplies then? You've not got anything else to info dump on me. What's levels my astrometer? 460. I'm gonna go actually super quickly pick that up so I can get better weapons. Which one's this one? Soul's good. I don't think I'm gonna do the grind for all of my classes, but I can at least pick up the weapons and have them. Ugh. And amazingly, I didn't have a nosebleed. Incredible. This is a really good looking staff. Others, maybe? Nope. Special arms. How many of these can I afford? Nice. Right. Where is it? Where does it go? What on earth? Okay, whatever. We'll teleport to the Enclave and move. But anyway, seeing it is now, well, it's 5 to 11, and I'm not going to be doing anything interesting now. I'm just going to be setting myself up some weapons. I am going to end stream off here. I want to say thank you very much for watching. It is very, very much appreciated, and I do hope that you enjoyed. I will be streaming Higurashi When They Cry, Watanagashi, tomorrow, where we will be doing the, I think we're going to be finishing off, I'm not sure though, so we'll see how it goes, but I think we are really going to see the consequences of our actions for real on Thursday. Then Saturday we will be starting the Knife of Dunwall, which I am excited for. Time to be stabs. Then Sunday will be Destiny 2, where we are going to continue the task of unlocking our way to Dreaming City. And then next Tuesday will be Final Fantasy XIV, where finally, at long last, I am for real actually going to remember how to play Dragoon, and I am going to start doing Shadowbringers on our shard. Anyway, take care everybody, have a wonderful evening, do look after yourselves. You too, Rahela, I hope you have a good evening, take care of yourself. Enjoy, if you have an animal, please give them a cuddle from me. I shall see you guys on Thursday.